Now let's start calculating this exercise with the help of Vogel approximation method. So we have to calculate unit penalties row wise as well as column wise. Unit penalty is the difference between minimum cost to the next higher cost. If there are two minimum cost, the unit penalty will be 0. So, and the technique is, after each unit penalty, allocate the maximum number of units, keeping intact the demand and supply, and only one allocation is to be made. Again, you have to calculate the unit penalty. So for this, we may require 5, 6 or 7 unit penalties. Unit penalty is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the number required, that can be extended. Here, again, like this is unit penalties. Difference between the minimum to the next number. Let's start from the row. In the first row, the minimum is 13, next is 16, 3. In the second row, minimum is 14, next is 17, 3. And the third row, minimum is 18 and the maximum is, next number is 27, say 9. 9 number. Now, column wise, minimum is 7, maximum, next number is 21, 4, minimum is 6, next is 18, 2 difference, minimum is 4, next is 18, 4 difference, and minimum is 13, next is 23, 10 difference. So, after calculating the unit penalty, come to the penalty which is of maximum value, maximum difference. Then we have to start. For example, the cases will come with the unit penalty is maximum at 2 places or 3 places. Then we have to enter at all the places and find where there is the minimum cost. Minimum cost, because we have to allocate the units at minimum cost. Here, the unit penalty maximum is 10, so we will enter from this column. Now, if we enter this column, then the minimum cost we will find is 13. Minimum out of these 3, 13. And the units which can be allocated is 11 is available, 15 is required, so 11. 11 means we have to keep intact we cannot increase or decrease the requirement or availability. So 11 can be allocated. So this first row is over. No, we don't want to calculate the unit penalty of the first row because this row has been satisfied. Now the second row minimum is, so you can see second row minimum is 14, 17, 3. Third row minimum is again same 9. Here you can say this row is not here. When you calculate the column wise difference, this row is not there. You have to consider or assume that this row is not there. Then there are only 2 units, 17, 32, 15. Then 11 and 27, 9 and 14 and 8, 4 and 13 or 41, difference 23 and 41 is 18. Because this row is not there. You have to keep this row aside, then the difference between these two elements only. So again the maximum is 18. So again we have to enter at the maximum column, maximum unit penalty, the column having maximum unit penalty. So the minimum cost is now 3. Here only 4 units can be allocated because 15 are required, 11 has been allocated, so only 4 can be allocated. Only 4 can be allocated. So this will satisfy the requirements of 4th column. Now again we have to calculate. Here the difference is 3, here the difference is 9. Here, no, this was not here, not like this. This was not here. This column was not there. No. So difference between 14 and 17, 3, and difference between this 18 and 27, 9. That's there. Okay. Here again 15, 18 and 27, 9, and 14 and 8, 4. We don't want difference of this last column, 4th column. Okay. Now maximum difference is 15. Now we will enter from the maximum difference. Entering is always from the maximum unit penalty, and finding the minimum cost in that column or row, whatever the case is. Here it is in the column, so minimum is 17. Here we can allocate 6 or 13, already 4, 9. So 6, only 6. So 6 are required, so 6, this column is over now. This column is over. Now there are only 2 columns. 2 columns left and 2 rows. 2 columns, 18 and 14, 4 now. 18 and 14, because these 2 columns are not there. 1st and 4th columns have been satisfied. So they are to be considered as they are not there. Now difference between 14 and 18, 4. Difference between 18 and 27, 9. Now column 18 and 27, 9, and 14 and 18, 4. Now, at the 4 time unit penalty, when we are calculating 4 times, 4th times, then unit penalty is maximum 9, but it comes at 2 places. Then we have to check the entry at minimum cost, where we get the minimum cost. Minimum cost, if we enter by this, we will get the minimum cost 18. If we enter by this, we will get the minimum cost 18. Again there is a tie, because we have to enter only at this 4 column. If we enter by this, we will get the minimum cost 18. And if we enter by this, we will get the minimum cost 18. So again there is a tie. Then next is, if there is a tie of minimum cost, then next is the maximum possible units. Maximum possible units. If we enter from this, here the maximum unit can be allocated 12. And if we go by this, maximum unit can be only 3. So we will not allocate 3 only. We will go for the maximum units, keeping intact the demand and supply. The maximum units is here, if we are coming this 14, 18, and here it is 12. And 12 can be allocated, 19, 12. So this column is over. Now, when either only 1 column is left or 1 row is left, you cannot find the unit penalty. You can't compare. Here, in case Otherwise you can adjust over here. In case you want to calculate, then calculate the difference between 18 and 9, because there are still 2 rows are there. Still 2 rows are there, but when we calculate the rows, there is no unit of comparison, unit of a next number. So here we have to stop calculating the unit penalty. So let me repeat. When there is either one row or one column is left, or either one row, 2 column, or 2 rows, 1 column, you have to stop calculating the unit penalties. Now you have to make the adjustments. Here 11 is okay. Here only 10. 6 plus 4, 10. 3 units are to be allocated, and that cannot be allocated over here. Can be allocated, cannot be allocated over here. Cannot be allocated over here. So 3 units can be allocated at here only, and that will be 3 units. Now this is over. Finish. Now this is over, this is over, this 10 units are to be allocated. Then 3 units have been allocated, 7 required. That can be allocated to here only, because it is finished. It is finished. So this 27 and 7 plus 12, 19. Now you have to check that demand and supplies are intact. Please make it sure while making the assignments and while finishing the assignments, see that demand and supplies are intact. As I told you, first of all, transportation problem must be balanced one, that is the demand and supply must be equal. Now the total cost will be equal to 13 into 11 plus 17 into 6 plus 18 into 3 plus 23 into 4 plus 27 into 7 plus 18 into 12. Cost into number of units allocated. Cost per unit into number of units allocated. So this is equal to 143, 102, 54, 92, 189, 216. So total cost is equal to rupees. So this will be the total cost. So in transportation there are 3 methods. One is northwest corner, second is least cost entry, and third is Vogel approximation method. You can solve numerical with any method, but this method, Vogel approximation method, is the best one, and it is generally asked, as well as the second part of this transportation problem is the optimality method. We have to optimize our solution, whether this solution is optimum or not, that is whether this solution is can be further, cost can be further decreased or not. So that is the second point only. Second part of this chapter is optimality, that I will take in my next video. So here I want to tell you that this method, Vogel approximation method, is the best one. We can prove this. Why? we go for the first two methods. Let's go for the first two methods. Here, let me take this exercise, the same which we have solved with the Vogel approximation method. Let us come to the first method, northwest corner method. In this method, we have to start from the first cell, first row, first column, and go row wise, finish row wise. If we go to this, then 11 or 6, so only 6 can be allocated. Then starting, here requirement is 6. Now next, proceeding row wise, 16, here it is 10, here it is 10, and this is 6. Okay, now 11, 5 unit can be allocated to over here. They have. Now this is okay. This is okay. There is no need of calculating unit penalty. It's a one line method. One line method. Okay. Now come to this. It is finished. Okay. Now only 5 are left now. 5 can be allocated to this. Now this is over. Next, proceeding like this. Now we want 18 more. Now 18 more. This is over. Here again come to this. This is over. This is 4 are left. 8 plus 4, 12. Okay. And then 15 are left. Now 15. Method is over. It's a one line method. Northwest corner method is a one line method. Just calculate the total cost. Total cost is 21 into 6 plus 16 into 5 plus 18 into 5 plus 14 into 8 plus 18 into 4 plus 41 into 15. So this is equal to 126, 80, 90, 72, not 72, 112, 72, 615. So total cost is equal to 'Just see, our interest is to minimize the cost. If we solve the exercise, the problem, any problem with the northwest corner method, total cost is 1095. And if we solve the Vogel approximation method, the total cost is 796. So this is the difference. We are reaching at the minimum level while using approximation method. Now come to this second method, least cost entry method. Let me use this exercise. Now this is the answer in northwest corner method. Now second method is least cost entry method. least cost entry method. Okay, so according to this method, we have to go see the table of cost and find the minimum cost, and we have to find the minimum cost. Okay, here's cost. I have actually rubbed, no problem, that we can see it from the exercise. So here I want cost, which has been wrongly deleted, because we have to go for the least cost. Where is the least cost? So let me check it. This question, (23). The cost is, I was referring to the exercise, it is 23. Now, least cost method means find out the least cost. The least cost out of the various costs given is 14. 14 is the least cost. So allocate maximum units keeping intact the demand and supply. Here 14 units, 12 units can be allocated. Okay, it's over. Now next least cost is after, this is not 14 is not the least cost, 13 is there. So we are 14 is not the least cost, 13 is there, then to 13 11 can be allocated. 11 can be allocated, this is over. Next is 14, 12 can be allocated, this is over. After 14, 16 is there, 16 is there, only 1 can be allocated. Oh, 10 required, but 11, this is, no. 11 has been allocated, finish. Then 16, no unit can be allocated. This is to be understood. This is to be understood clearly. Very slowly and very intelligently you have to make the adjustment. Now, next higher cost. This is least cost means starting from the least cost to the next cost to the next cost. 13, now it is 16. No cost can be allocated because already 11 has been satisfied. Now then 16, after 16 the next cost is 17. So only 1 unit can be allocated. Only 1 unit, because 13 are required, available. So 1 only. Then next is 18, no unit. This is over. Now next is 18. 18. No unit can be 18. After then next is 18 over here. This is also over. Next is then 27. 10 units is to be allocated. 10 units. Then next is 32. 5 units can be allocated because 6 are required. So this is also over. This is also over. Now this is also over. Now this is 5 or 10, 15. Here only 8 can be allocated. No 8. 11 is already there. 15, we require 15. And 4 units are to be allocated. Because 5 or 10, 15, 4, 19, 11 or 4, 15. Now check that unit 7. Again this method is a one-line method. Just you have to apply the technique. Starting from the least cost, then next higher cost. Allocating the maximum possible units. Keeping intact the demand and supply. This is the method. Now the total cost will be 13 into 11 plus 17 into 1 plus 14 into 12 plus 32 into 5 plus 27 into 10 plus 41 into 4. So this is equal to 143 plus 17 plus 164 plus 160 plus 270 plus 164. So this is equal to 8. Now you see the difference. Here is a point which I wanted to make very clear to you. Least cost entry method 1095 is the total cost. Least cost entry northwest corner method 1095. Least cost entry 922 and Vogel approximation popularly known as VAM least cost is this. So this is a technique of allocating the number of units from the sources to where the units are required. So this method is the best. So this is VAM is best. Is the best method from 2 angles because it gives the best result. Number 2, when we have to go for optimality test, you have to go for VAM, otherwise number of times you have to go for optimality test. So I will be taking the next optimality test. So I wanted to make the comparison between these 3 methods, and the VAM Vogel approximation method is the best technique. So well, friends, I hope you have understood. So please kindly help this like, share and subscribe my video. Thank you very much.